Hi guys, it's Nika and I am back with another speed build. Hopefully this voiceover will go better than the one that I did for yesterday's video. And honestly it should, cause my parents just left about an hour ago for the weekend. Well, not the whole weekend, but maybe we will get to my weekend plans a little bit later. But yeah, nobody should be interrupting me now. So yeah, let's get into it. And as you can see, we are back in Oasis Springs. I can't remember the last time I built here. Probably in March, halfway through March or something like that. Yeah. And I really missed it. Last night I tried to build in Willow Creek and I did not like the house that I came up with. I made the shell, I tried to do the floor plan and I picked the exterior walls and roof color. And then I looked at the shell and I just couldn't look at it. I just hated it so much. I didn't like it at all. And overall, I feel like I'm getting burned out on these like pretty suburban houses because I've built a lot of them for Newcrest recently. So I closed the game and I was like, you know what? Tomorrow for the Sunday speed build, I will have to build something entirely different because I cannot build another house like this. Either they all look the same to me, or since I'm trying to not make them all look the same, I try to go crazy with the shapes. Well, crazy is a strong word, but I try to make the shape a little interesting, a little original. And then the house just looks weird and wrong, because I mean, I guess there's not really much, I don't know, creativity, originality you could go for with these suburban houses, right? They all kind of look the same. I don't know, that's just the vibe that I'm getting. I've never been to like an American suburb, so I have no idea, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. They are all very much like very similar vibe and stuff like that. So yeah, I really did not want to build another suburban house, and I realized I kind of miss building these kind of more modern houses. So that's why I'm in Oasis Springs today, because Oasis Springs somehow, to me, it feels more suitable for modern houses, for these like not the typical suburban houses, if that makes sense. So I created another, again this one has kind of a same with the, what was it called, the little Oasis house from a few months ago. It has the same vibe, like it could be a starter home kind of vibe. There's not much going on, but it's actually not a starter home. It's a very small home, but it's definitely not cheap enough to be a starter home. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. It is for, well, it could be for 4 Sims, although I kind of imagine that there are 2 parents living and their teenage child. The child is probably, I don't know, again, I'm doing this again. Whenever I make like a teenage sim, I'm like, okay, they are into streaming and then doing, you know, videos and, you know, stuff like that on the internet. I don't know, maybe it has something to do with me, but I do this every single time. This child, teenager, I mean, they are also very much doing stuff on the internet and no clue what their parents are doing. I kind of imagine that they are quite young parents. Well, I mean, they are middle-aged, but they probably had their child much earlier than their friends. Maybe they were still in high school, I don't know, but they are very close in age with their own child. Or maybe the child is adopted. Maybe they were young and they adopted a slightly older child. I don't know, maybe something like that. Ooh, that's actually kind of interesting. I kind of like that. Maybe I will use this storyline. Yeah, so that's the kind of family I imagine for this house. And yeah, that would be all about the family. Again, I did not come up with anything, which is kind of strange, but also kind of... I've briefly mentioned it in either yesterday's video or in one of the speed builds last week, but I'm kind of getting burned out on my save. I kind of had this idea that I would do speed builds on the weekends, and then every Friday I would create a family for this save file, and I would tell you about the family and their backstory and some lore for my save file. But that kind of doesn't really work. As much as I loved creating those students, those 6 students from the San Myshuno apartment, as much as I loved them, it was kind of a struggle to get through all their storylines and to create them and everything. So yeah, I think I will probably not make the save file videos as frequent as they were in April. I feel like maybe all the builds I will be posting, I suppose they could all be for the save file. However, as for the Sims who will be living in this save, I will probably not post them as frequently. Or maybe I will try to think of a way to do them like shorts. And in every shorts, in 1 minute, I would tell you about that particular Sim. I don't know, maybe that's too much for me. I'm not sure if I can make it short enough for 1 minute, but we can try. We can always try, and if it doesn't work, I can just start over with editing the video and I can post it like a regular YouTube video. I'm sorry, I don't know what that was, but I don't know. I got kind of distracted too because there is something wrong with my eye. I need to rub my eye, and yeah. Also, one thing I have to say, I have to complain. This has nothing to do with The Sims. Yesterday, we were in Prague all day, me and my parents, and me and my mom, we pretty much spent the whole day walking around a shopping center because my dad went there for some business, not business stuff, some health stuff. I don't want to get into it. He's fine, he's completely fine, don't worry about it. And me and my mom, we were walking around a shopping center. We probably walked like 6 kilometers just by, going from shop to shop. And it was kind of exhausting. I go on walks that are 5-6 kilometers long. They are nowhere near as exhausting as this trip to Prague to this shopping center. Chodov for those who know Prague shopping centers. It was so exhausting, and I don't know, I feel like partially why it was so exhausting, it was because of the light there. I don't know, I just cannot stand it, and the air there is just, there's something wrong with it. I don't know, so maybe that contributed to why I was so tired. And then when we went home, I was so looking forward to taking a shower, and we get home and hot water was not functional. No, wait, that's not how you say it in English. Basically, we only had cold water when we came home. And I tried multiple times in the evening, and still the hot water wasn't running. And there was nothing, nobody said anything about some issues, nobody said it would be turned off. Only this morning we found out that they did actually put the information somewhere, but it was somewhere where we would never think of looking. So yeah, so I came home all sticky, and I wanted to wash Prague off me, if that makes sense. And I could not. And I don't know why I'm complaining about that right now, but I really wanted to complain to you about that. But hey, yesterday I bought my mom bought it to me, a new perfume. And it smells so beautifully. It's such a soft scent or something. I don't know how I would explain it. I'm really bad at explaining scents. So when I went out in the morning to do stuff, I just sprayed a lot of perfume on me to kind of hide the fact that I wasn't able to take a shower. I don't know. Nobody complained, so hopefully they couldn't tell that I did not take a shower, but I could tell, and I was really bothered by it. And why am I complaining to you about this? How did we get here? I don't feel bad about complaining to you about this, but how did we get here? I have no idea. But yeah, I wanted to say something about Sims also, and I have no idea. I completely forgot. I was thinking about it the whole time I was building this house a few hours ago, and I have absolutely no clue well, I really wanted to tell you about how I kind of don't feel like working as hard on my save file. I did that. I talked a little bit about the house and how much I love it. I talked about the Sims that I imagine to live there. Yeah, that would probably be all. Anyway, it's currently the afternoon. It will be 2 p.m. in 2 minutes actually. And I'm home alone. I will be home alone probably until tomorrow evening. I don't know. Oh yeah, I remember what I wanted to talk to you about, and it's not actually about Sims. Well, first the Sims thing that I thought of. So I have a lot of time alone and I can use it all for recording, and I'm super excited. I need to record Hills Legacy because I only have 2 more episodes scheduled, and I haven't played that save in like maybe a month. When was Easter? Because I think the last time I played was like 2 days after Easter. Yeah, and I really want to play again. I love that little family so much. So I will do that. I will probably once again record way too many episodes. That's actually all that I wanted to say about The Sims. But the first thing that I wanted to tell you, I started this video saying that my parents are away for a weekend. That's not entirely true because it's Friday and they are coming back tomorrow evening or tomorrow afternoon, I'm not sure. And on Sunday we are actually going on a little, well, on a big trip, and we had no idea until today because my sibling is currently basically all across the country. They are at a festival with their school, but the school didn't secure any type of transport for them. They didn't get them a coach, or they're not going, all of them, the entire class, they are not going together by the train, nothing like that. And it was the same when they were getting there. My sibling went there with some of their friends. They all met up in Prague and then went together on another train to this city where they are. Well, they are in Liberec, sorry. I can tell you that. But for the journey home, they said that some of their friends will actually be picked up by their parents. And my sibling doesn't want to go by the train alone without their friends. Am I making sense? I feel like I'm talking nonsense. But yeah, they didn't want to go alone by the train and everything. And honestly, when my parents looked into it, for some reason this Sunday, it will be really complicated with transport. They will go to Prague, then they have to use the tram, I think, and then metro, and then they have to get on another metro line, and then they have to go to another train station, and then finally they can go from Prague to our town. But it's kind of complicated, and I mean, maybe it's not that complicated, but my sibling, they are not familiar with Prague at all. I think I would manage, but they are not familiar with Prague at all, and they're gonna have this big bag, and yeah, it would all be very stressful. So my dad said, fine, we are going to pick you up in Liberec. So we are going on a trip. It's about 200 kilometers. And by the way, I know that some of you Americans might now say that's nothing. But listen, in Europe, we kind of see distance differently than you. I've read a lot about this, how like for an American going somewhere on a ride that takes 5 hours, maybe it's not too much for them, but here, you drive for 5 hours and you are in different country. We really see that differently. So for me, this is a huge trip. But I'm kind of excited because I've never been to Liberec. I'm from southern Bohemia. I'm not gonna tell you the town, but I'm from southern Bohemia, southern part of my country, and Liberec. I don't know why I said that with like an English or something accent. Liberec is in the north, and I've never really been in the north. I've been to Krkonoše mountains. I'm not sure if there's an English equivalent for them, but yeah, that's probably the most north I've ever been. And Liberec is a little bit farther. And I did it again. I said it so weirdly. Anyway, so yeah, I complained about no shower in this video. Then I gave you a little bit of a geography lesson. I think I rambled real bad in this video as well. At least nobody interrupted me this time, but I don't know, I still feel like this is a mess, so I'm super sorry. Or not, because a lot of you said that you actually like my rambling, which, thank you, means a lot. I have someone to talk to finally. But yeah, I'm not really sure what else we could talk about. I feel like the best is to keep all that I'm talking about sort of related to The Sims or to the Sims community in general, or maybe like some of like my character talk or something like that. So even though we have about a minute or something, I'm just gonna say my goodbyes now. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you liked the build. And I hope I will see you all next time. I love you guys. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye everyone.